Hi everyone, in this video we will discuss how to bind a custom domain with the application gateway. In our previous video we have already discussed what is application gateway and how to deploy it. This video is the continuation of the previous one where we have already deployed our application gateway, and with this application gateway we have configured a pool where two virtual machines are deployed where exactly our website is hosted. So we want to enable our customer to access our website with the help of any domain name. If you want to go through the complete course, you can purchase these courses from my website, that is techlearning.spy.com. All the information is given in the description. If you want to check out the course content, just click on course and click on preview. So left hand side you can see all of the course contents. Other than individual courses, course packages are also available where you can find out the decent discount on these courses. Let's get back to our topic.
And if you come to overview, you can see one public IP address has been assigned. Open this public IP address and copy and come back to your diagram and paste it here. And go to the backend pool. You can see inside web pool. Fine. So let's verify if my application gateway is working or not. So go to overview and copy this application gateway because this is working as a load balancer. So this is a load balancer only application gateway. So what will happen in that case when I'm hitting the IP address of my application gateway? So you can see the website is or the session is getting redirected to the backend target. And here, if you just click on it, you can see it's very smooth. Sometimes it goes to video, then song. Fine. Now, what happens in real time that we do not give this IP address to the end customer. They hit some domain like google.com, facebook.com, yahoo.com. And same thing I also want to configure. Instead of giving this public IP address, I want to give them some URL or some domain name. So what we need to do in that case, we should have a DNS. And inside that DNS, we are supposed to make an entry. If you have DNS in your on-premises, you can make entry there also. But Azure also provide us to option to means create the DNS inside the Azure itself. So let's say how we can create a DNS zone inside the Azure. So click on it and type DNS zones and create DNS zones. And click on resource group my ID, and this is my domain name, and this domain name I have purchased from the GoDaddy. Okay, so you should have a domain name with you if you are trying to do this practical. So if you want, you can purchase it from the GoDaddy directly. It starts from 250 rupees onward. So I have taken one domain, that is learninghubtech.com. Click on tag, or let's say directly create this one. Okay, so my DNS zone is created. You can see that zone name is learninghubtech.com, and this is my DNS zone. And here actually I can create the record. But before creating the record, we need to do one thing. You can see that these are the name servers. What is exactly the name server? Where your DNS zone has been deployed. So for the redundancy purpose, Azure has given you the 4 name server. And the next step is that we need to register this name server in my registrar website. So who is my registrar in this case? From where I have purchased this domain. So I have purchased it from GoDaddy. So go to GoDaddy here, open their website. So I have already logged in here because I have an account, manage domains, and it is going to show me the list of domain which I have purchased from GoDaddy. So I have purchased only one domain, that is learninghubtech.com. Click on DNS, then go to manage zones. Okay, mention your domain name, that is learninghubtech.com, and search. So when you scroll down, there is an option called name servers. So click on change, then come to here and copy these name server one by one. So this is first name server, and you can just go ahead and paste it here, and don't forget to remove this dot, otherwise it won't accept it. And copy the second one also and remove this dot. If you want, you can add all of the four name servers. Okay, all are providing the same thing. Just for the redundancy purpose, four has been provided. So if you are okay, you can just provide two also, so it will work. If you want to add more name server, just click on add name server, so it will give you the additional option where you can put your third name server or the fourth name server. So right now I'm just going with two, then click on save, and it is giving me a warning message that you are going to change the name server. In case you have set up any other infrastructure, so that will be disturbed if I change it. So I'm saying it's okay, no problem, continue. Fine. So once you do this, just refresh it and refresh it couple of time. Okay, this is NS101, NS201. So NS101, NS201. Fine. So verify it also, because sometime when we refresh, you will see the different names there. So refresh it 2-3 times in this web portal, then verify the names. Fine. So this registration also done. Now what I'm supposed to do, I supposed to create a record inside my DNS. So click on record set, and here I'm going to mention www, and it will accept a .learninghubtech.com from here. Now I'm going to create a record. So what is a record? Whenever we map a domain name with the IP address, that time we create a type record in the DNS. So which IP address we are supposed to give here? We will give the IP address of our application gateway. So let's duplicate this one, and go to application gateway, and this is the IP address of application gateway, and copy this IP address, come here and paste it here, right, and click on OK. So this record has been created, and you can see that it is reflecting here. Now what will happen, why we added this record, so that we need to understand. So I created a DNS zone here. This is DNS zone, and here the zone name is learninghubtech.com. This is what I created first, and then I created a record. In that record I mentioned www.learninghubtech.com, and against this domain name or URL I have mapped a IP address. So this is the IP address of my application gateway. So how it is going to work now? So this infrastructure will also be connected to the internet. So let's say on your laptop, this is my laptop now, I'm typing http://www.learninghubtech.com. So what will happen? So first of all, it is going to hit your DNS server. So it will come to the DNS here. In DNS, it will see that against learninghubtech.com, there is one IP address has been mapped. So the IP address will return back, and it will come to my laptop. Okay. So on my laptop, I have the IP address now. So my laptop got to know about the IP address of my application gateway. Fine. Now my laptop knows what is the IP address of application gateway. So again, it will go and directly going to hit this IP address. And when it hit this IP address, you can see that I have mentioned HTTP in front of my website. HTTP means port 80. So currently it is hitting on the public IP address on port 80, right? So there is one listener here, and this listener is listening to this session. So when it is listening to this session, I have assigned him a responsibility that you're supposed to redirect this session on the backend target or the backend pool, that is web pool here. And when you are redirecting it to the backend pool, you are supposed to use this setting, okay, where I have mentioned protocol HTTP and the port is 80 here. So via the port 80, it is going to redirect that session, and through the port 80, it will connect to your backend target, that is song or video here. And the load balancing task is done by the application gateway. Sometime it will connect to song and sometime it is going to connect to the video. So this is how this whole logic works here. Okay, so we have understood the concept exactly how it works, but let's say if it works or not. So to verify that, we are supposed to type http://www.learninghubtech.com, hit enter. So when I'm giving my domain name now, you can see that it is redirecting it to the backend target. And if you continuously hit this one, so you can see it is perfectly working fine. It goes to song and videos, both of the targets here. Okay, so this is how this concept of application gateway works. Today we have understood with the help of HTTP. What if I want to configure HTTPS, because HTTPS is the more secured way to connect to the website or the application, correct? So tomorrow we will discuss how to configure this HTTPS, because for the configuration of HTTPS, we are supposed to do a different configuration. And we also should have a SSL certificate for that. So that part we are going to cover up tomorrow, as well as that how to configure application gateway for the multiple website. So that also we will see. So there are a few more practicals related to application gateway only. So we will continue tomorrow. If you have any question for today's session, and please let me know.